Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. NBC News reports that President Donald Trump has issued a stern warning to Iran, stating that the clock is ticking amid stalled diplomatic efforts and recent drone attacks on U.S. allies in the Gulf region. Speaking on Truth Social, Trump revived his threats to annihilate the country, urging Iran to get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. This warning comes as talks aimed at ending the conflict, addressing Iran's nuclear program, and restoring traffic through the Strait of Hormuz have seen little progress in recent weeks. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, Esmail Bagay, indicated Tehran was not intimidated but confirmed that talks and negotiations are ongoing. Having responded to a new U.S. proposal, Trump's remarks coincided with reports of a drone strike causing a fire at a nuclear plant in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, intercepting drones from Iraqi airspace. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz and a U.S. naval blockade have severely impacted global energy and fertilizer supplies, causing oil prices to rise. Senator Lindsey Graham also called for increased U.S. military action, asserting that Iran grows stronger as diplomacy stalls. The U.S. House of Representatives bipartisan Congressional Taiwan Caucus issued a late-night statement, as reported by Liberty Times. The caucus urged the Trump administration to swiftly strengthen Taiwan's deterrence capabilities, emphasizing that the U.S. Congress would ensure Taiwan receives the necessary defense capabilities and support. This action follows concerns raised in Taiwan after President Trump, subsequent to the Trump-JK meeting last week, publicly stated he had not yet decided on approving a $14 billion arms sale to Taiwan, describing it as a good negotiating chip for U.S.-China talks. The co-chairs of the Congressional Taiwan Caucus praised Taiwan's legislative yuan for recently passing a special defense budget, which they noted helps enhance Taiwan's self-defense and deterrence. They encouraged the legislative yuan to continue its efforts in supporting Taiwan's critical defense needs, signaling Taiwan's readiness to defend its democratic system to the international community. Furthermore, the statement affirmed the U.S. Congress's commitment to accelerating the delivery of defense systems already procured by Taiwan and to consistently support future arms sales. The co-chairs also lauded the House Foreign Affairs Committee's passage of the Parkapine Act, a bill designed to address delays in arms sales deliveries and expedite the shipment of essential defensive equipment to Taiwan. They concluded by pledging their ongoing efforts to ensure Taiwan quickly obtains the required defense equipment and support. Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermudez has asserted that Cuba poses no threat to the United States and harbors no aggressive plans or intentions against any country. This statement, reported by CBS News, comes after Axios published an article alleging that Cuba possesses hundreds of military drones and has discussed potential strikes against the U.S. military base in Guantanamo Bay and Key West, Florida. Díaz-Canel did not explicitly address the drone report but strongly criticized what he termed threats of military aggression against Cuba from the world's greatest power, emphasizing Cuba's absolute and legitimate right to defend itself against a military onslaught. He described any materialization of such threats as an international crime with incalculable consequences for regional peace. The Trump administration has publicly weighed military intervention in Cuba and imposed financial sanctions to weaken the communist leadership, with former President Trump famously stating, "Cuba is next." CIA Director John Ratcliffe recently visited Havana, demanding fundamental changes and warning against Cuba serving as a safe haven for adversaries. CBS News has not independently confirmed the details of the drone report. NHK reports that Japan is actively seeking to diversify its energy sources by turning to Brazil, a major oil producer for crude supplies. This move comes amid escalating tensions in the Middle East, particularly with the situation in Iran effectively closing the Strait of Hormuz, a traditional shipping route. Japan's economy, trade, and industry minister Akazawa Ryosei met with Brazilian Foreign Minister Mauro Vieira in Tokyo on Monday. During the meeting, Minister Akazawa underscored Japan's urgent need to lessen its reliance on any single region for energy. Foreign Minister Vieira, in turn, expressed his desire for bilateral trade between the two nations to return to previous higher levels. Brazil, identified as the world's 9th largest oil producer in 2024, has seen a surge in its oil exports, largely due to the disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Although currently very little of this oil is shipped to Japan, the Japanese government has stated that it has secured 1.65 million barrels per day for June, which accounts for over 70% of last year's level. NBC News reports that a significant majority of U.S. doctors are now quietly utilizing an AI tool called Open Evidence for various aspects of their medical practice, with many patients unaware. Over the past 2 years, this AI-powered medical search engine has been adopted by approximately 65% of U.S. physicians and is used in nearly 27 million clinical encounters monthly. Doctors leverage it for clinical decision-making, updating medical knowledge, preparing for exams, and even drafting patient notes. While Open Evidence is praised for its quick, tailored replies and ability to save doctors considerable time, some experts raise concerns. These include the potential for AI hallucinations or incomplete answers, the erosion of doctors' critical thinking skills, and a lack of rigorous studies on its direct impact on patient outcomes. The company maintains HIPAA compliance, though some health systems advise doctors against inputting protected health information. Funded by ads and backed by major venture capital firms, Open Evidence is valued at $12 billion, Drengels challenging traditional medical reference tools like updated through its large language model capabilities and partnerships with prestigious medical journals. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.